So this is going to loop around some of the streets between Bishopsgate, which is just there behind me, and heading east to Commercial Street, and some of the roads and streets around Dorset Street that we'll come across. So this is Brushfield Street now, which runs east-west between Commercial Street and Bishopsgate. And you can see Christ Church at the end, the Nicholas Hawksmoor Church. So that's where we came from. The northern side of this has been pretty much all changed. The market, the old Spitalfields Market, which it fronts onto Commercial Street, was extended westward. There's a Ripper tour there. I guess it's a Ripper tour, unless they're a tour looking at goat statues, I guess. But just here would have been the location of the Prince Albert pub, where Mrs. Fiddymont, on the morning of the discovery of Annie Chapman's body, allegedly saw a man with blood spots on the back of his hand, I think on his collar, acting suspiciously. One of her customers followed the man down onto Bishopsgate and lost sight of him, but that's a possible sighting of the suspect. But yeah, the market was originally a fruit and vegetable market, and it was extended. There's what's called Gun Street, which is just on the right, where these green hoardings are. Gun Street would have extended across the road, and Crispin Street, which is the next road down, would have as well. So they basically all got knocked down to make way for this extended market. It's a nice area down here. Let's come and have a look at. Quite pleasant. On the right hand side of the screen, so that's the southern edge of the road. I'll presume that some of that this brickwork building would have been present at the time, but obviously everything to the left would have been a mixture of tenements and public houses. Confusingly here, the Gun pub is actually not on the corner of Gun Street, but on the corner of Crispin Street. So those two roads run down onto Artillery Lane, which we'll see in a moment. So Gun Street and Crispin Street run parallel, and this area was at one time that just about seen to the market briefly there. It's not fruit and veg anymore, it's moved to Leighton, I think. A lot of clothing things and all kinds of stuff in there. It's nice to have a look around. But yeah, this area was fields that were used for artillery practice, and whether that was crossbows back in the day, or I don't know if they then moved on to gunpowder weapons, but that's where all the names come from. I guess they went to gunpowder if we've got things like Gun Street. Just on the right, that is the Wool Exchange building, which is quite a nice building. Here's the back of where the old market was. So this building here would have all been, I think, would have been part of the Spitalfields Market building. I'm sure someone will point out if it wasn't. So I'm just going to decide to walk to the end of Brushfield Street, just to again get some of these locations put together. So down the side of Christ Church, as you're looking at it, on the left hand side, that is Fernier Street, which was called Church Street or Church Lane. There's quite a few churches in Church Road, Church Street and so on. There's the Ten Bells pub. That's looking north on Commercial Street towards Hanbury Street, which is on the corner, a couple of yards down, and that's looking south down Commercial Street. And there's the church, Itchy Park, all that stuff. It's on one of the clips. So having seen all that, just to now walk back onto Brushfield Street, and now heading back west. To give you a rough indication of distances, I'm probably going somewhere between 100, 120 yards every minute. I don't think I was going particularly fast here. Given stride length, I've calculated, if we average out and say 110 yards, that might give you an idea of how long some of these places are. Of course, the best thing again is to either come on a tour or to walk these things yourselves. You really get a sense of a much more different sense to when you're just looking at pictures. So walking back now past the Gun pub, which I think was there was a public house here, I think. I'll check my codes. So this is Crispin Street with these nice old brickwork buildings, and it's only a short distance down here. This building to the right, this not the first one with the white steps, the just down to the end. We'll look at in a second, because this was present in 1888, and it was a Catholic institution, or built with Catholic money, I believe, and it's the Providence Row Night Refuge. So taking an unfortunate couple of hundred people, I think they had a mixture of men and women, wouldn't take them beggars. But here's the other end of Dorset Street, so you can see how close really Brushfield Street, and that's a nice picture of it, the Night Refuge, Dorset Street actually were. And just here on the corner was the location, which is a location, Horn of Plenty pub, where Mary Kelly was allegedly spotted the night drinking on the night before her murder, with a couple of people, one who was identified as Danny, which some people have taken to be a misidentification of Daniel Barnett, and it was actually Joe Barnett, and people mistook the two. So just carrying on down Crispin Street, if we look down here, that's White's Row. I'm going to walk down White's Row on another video clip, so I'm not going to say any more than that. Just crossing the road here, so crossing over Crispin Street, we're heading east now. And you can just see at the top middle of the frame those buildings on Bishopsgate Street. So all these roads were really heading back down towards Bishopsgate. This huge refuge, you can see, it's a real tragedy when you think how many people would have possibly benefited from it. That's Artillery Lane running kind of northwest, and Gun Street and Crispin Street run onto it. But I'm going to go down Artillery Passage, which is this short one here, which is a really nice little walk, and it maintains some of that claustrophobic feel, even with nicer shops. Yeah, the Night Refuge, when you think how many people could have benefited, but there were that many, they were packed in so tight that into this area that there were literally thousands of people, and although it's a tragedy, it was so close to some of the. Would these women have needed to be on the streets if there would have been better care? I think it's quite sad. But yeah, Artillery Passage, quite nice little route down here, and at the end to the left is Sandy's Row, which was on the first video clip I did, and this pub here, King's Stores, local legend has it, was the last place that Jack the Ripper was spotted, although they forgot obviously to tell us what his name was, which was rather remiss of them.